And it says North American cannabis retailers and growers continue to lead globally with capital raises, but the news is bittersweet because raises overall are down a sharp 61% year over year compared to numbers 12 months ago. Cannabis companies completed 177 capital funding deals for 2.58 billion in the past 12 months, down almost two-thirds from the same period in 2021 to 2022, where the industry raised 6.6 billion, according to Viridian Capital Advisor Deal Tracker. The retailers and growers outperform counterparts in the cannabis sectors when it comes to capital fundraising. 65 completed raises for a total of 1.45 billion since September 29th, 2022. But last year, that's down 49% from 314 deals for the 12 months ended September 2022. During that same period, cannabis shops and cultivators raised 3.4 billion. But by contrast, the capital raises in the psychedelics sector over the past year came in second only to retail and cultivation and capital raises. They're up 77%. So it looks like all the money's being diverted to psychedelics, believe it or not. And third place was biotech pharma sector, secured 31 raises or for 143 million. And next up was hemp sector, which completed 11 financing deals for just 142 million. Software and media, 19 deals. Glad to be part of that. We actually had a pretty good funding round this past. We had we just raised a couple of million last month. That was in the presses too, but it says overall 79 million consumption devices, and there were 6 deals for 46 million for infused product makers. And then there's another 21 million from 11 deals, ancillary companies, which had raises for 13 million in agriculture tech, the single capital raise. Nobody's into ag tech anymore, I guess, for 1.63 million. So it looks like things are looking pretty rough when it comes to money coming into the cannabis industry right now. I know people are seeing a lot of a lot of downside if you're out here on the streets like we are, especially in established markets. It is A&R season. It's acquisitions and mergers and acquisitions. I don't know why it's like lightheaded this morning. There's M&A season left and right, so you're seeing a lot of consolidation. And when it comes to retail, a lot of consolidation when it comes to tech. And just watch out, man. Yeah, this is the time where the biggest companies are going to be going on shopping sprees. My big prediction is that big tech, big pharma, and big alcohol are going to be gobbling up companies in the fourth quarter this year. But that's just my thoughts on the situation. Rico Lamit, Dopa's dad, truly on the streets this morning for High at 9 News. What do you think about this one, Jay?
Man, I'll tell you what, bro. There's so many millions of dollars involved in all of this reporting that you just did today. I felt like you were reading a police seizure report.
It sounded like it sounded like they picked up something in New York, right? They just
Yeah.
had a random stop in New York, just brought in all that all that money.
Yep. In his trunk.
But
in a Louis V
in the back of
suitcase.
a Porsche
Yes.
with bad tax.
Yeah, it's crazy, down 61%. So cannabis companies are not getting any money at all. But on the flip side of that, 77% up in the psychedelics industry. So there's probably going to be some buys out there if you're into, buying stocks and bonds. Like, we're not financial representatives. We can't give advice, but it looks like the psychedelics market is up, and there's a lot of opportunities there, and it's just really indicative of everything we talk about here on the show day to day, man.
It's very interesting that you mentioned that the psychedelics are raising so much money, because I'll tell you what, the price of pounds of mushrooms is so down right now, but yet all this money's flowing into psychedelics.
You play.
That doesn't even really matter. What happens is the political climate around psychedelics is shockingly more friendly than cannabis for some reason. There is so much more scientific research being invested into psychedelics right now. There's a lot less red tape to do research on these plants. There's ketamine clinics opening up all over the place. I have former colleagues of mine who are going to psychedelic certification classes and things of that nature so that they can learn to administer these therapies. Um, Plain and simple, the money's going to flow where the government is not putting the most red tape.
Yeah. Also, the psychedelics have a more medicalized scheduled pipeline. Some of them are actually already scheduled less than Schedule 1, like ketamine. Ketamine was developed.
Fast track, right?
Yeah, ketamine was actually developed during the war for GIs who got blown apart. Because what would happen is, you step on a landmine. Now your vitals are going to shit. You're bleeding to death, and they hit you up with morphine. The first thing that happens is your blood pressure and your heartbeat drops, and now they have to actually both mitigate your injury as well as the side effects of the drug they gave to you. So ketamine disassociates your consciousness from your body with no change in your vitals, and so they were slamming that into GIs in Vietnam. They got grievously wounded. The reason they actually stopped and moved it to only being a veterinary chemical was because these dudes were coming back. And they were like, yo, I just went to another world. And they said war was stupid. And like, we all need to share. And like, we're all a family. And then the U.S. government was like,
you're turning woke on us.
And so the U.S. government was literally like, let's just give this shit to horses and dogs. And that's why they ended up scheduling it down just for veterinary medicine. But yeah, another thing, and I know Rico has mentioned this before, there's a huge stigma with cannabis and black and brown people, whereas psychedelics, because they came, primarily in the U.S., they came through the nexus of, white baby boomer children, college-educated children. There's a lot less stigma, and so it makes it a lot easier to approach because you don't have that cultural fallout.
Interesting. Man,
A lot less baggage. It's a lot easier to put money in when you don't have to put your emotions in it too, right?
Yeah, but the joke's on them because like once there's mushrooms everywhere, bro, money's gonna be fucking worthless.
Oh man, I hope not.
I just saw Jason shiver at that one, you guys.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a scary thought right there, Matthew. That is a scary thought. What do you think about this? I mean, Luke, if money is worthless, what would be the value of an item in jail?
I mean, in prison, it would be a pack of mackerel.
That's that. Yeah. How many ramens, bro? How many ramens? Ramen still has worth every day.
Man, ramen for the win. Ramen.
Yeah, listen, Mandy was talking about, the first thing I want to clear up is, shout out to MSG down there in SoCal. First thing I wanted to clear up was Mandy said that she had some people or knew of some people, and I've heard of this too, of people doing these psychedelic certifications. MSG didn't certify anybody. He didn't sign off on no passes. So I don't know how these certifications are even legit. So I just wanted to go ahead and note that first. Secondly,
you got to know that his glasses. You got to know that his glasses are psychedelic glasses, bro. If you put those on, looks like you're looking into a kaleidoscope.
Oh, he's looking into the other realm.
Yeah,
those glasses are expensive. Trust me. Those are
windows.
Those are like the next level designer.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
the grand designer.
Actually, yeah,
it's not because he's trying to be Florida man today.
But
no,
Luke,
he has grand designer glasses.
Luke, I would say I don't know what the certification process is.
Speaker of the House.
No, thank you. But we do need. I think we really do need more psychedelic big brothers and sisters. I think that some of the current models might be a little bit top heavy for how much you're having to pay to get this service, but a lot of people don't have quite the information. They may be scared. They may be afraid. They may feel alone. They may not have a good peer group. And I know too many people who got messed with when they were high, man, including myself. I kind of came up in the time of life when everybody was a prankster. It was all about watch out for putting your beverage down because you might get spiked. The moment somebody's high, everybody starts screwing with them, and it wasn't conducive. The sooner I got out of that kind of a vibe, the more I really was able to heal and learn from both myself and these substances.
Interesting. So no one was like running around shaving your eyebrows off or like writing on your face with a Sharpie or anything?
The second time I did acid, my best friend at the time told me that I pissed off this leader of a skinhead gang at the bowling alley we were at. And then my friend knocked on the door of our house, and I'm like, oh, I'll get that. My buddy Todd jumps in front. He's like, no, it's the leader of the skinhead gang. And he whips the door open. And I had ended up, the moment he said that, I jumped out the back door. I jumped like 5 different fences, and I went and I hid in a bush. And I literally hid in the bush from this non-existent skinhead gang for like hours until my friends found me, bro.
Bro, I feel like I've seen how this movie ends before when you're in your lion onesie.
No, the worst part was
fire.
The bush was at a 3-way stop like this, right? The bush was right here. So every car that drove by stopped right in front of the bush, and I was for sure every one of them was the skinhead gang, bro. And so my friends had to. It took them about an hour to convince me to get out of the bush because even I thought they were being put up to it by these guys.
You were getting hustled.
Yeah, yet I digress.
Damn.
So yes to psychedelic mentorship, safe big brothers and sisters, and safe places for us to get together and explore our consciousness.
Oh man, look at that. Any thoughts on this, Dale?
Well, the entire area of what to do when someone is in a dissociative state intentionally and a lot of these are very mild substances. Generally speaking, they've been used historically for thousands of years. And Matthew's right. We've got to get to a point where we understand how to use these, how to open your brain. And if you don't have a lot of struggles in your brain, the average person should be able to do this themselves. But if you are struggling in your brain, you don't want some fucking knucklehead, pulling pranks on you and you're really trying to dig in and solve some problems. So one of my concerns has always been, how do we get people certified and not just have the consultant mentality we had where I watched the YouTube video, now I'm a fucking master at this. No, you're not. People and what are their credentials? Because Apollo used to be in charge of all these back in the day, the Oracle of Delphi and all that nonsense. And they didn't have to have PhDs in anything. They were trained for experience from generations of how to do this, how to not be depressed, how to open your brain up, how to think beyond the boundaries of people trying to strap you into. And we need everything we can in this country to try to be happy because we are fucked up right now. Unhappy. Yeah. We're using drugs that deal with unhappiness that are dangerous for us. This one is not. But, man, I tried driving after a concert on acid one time, and the fucking road tried to eat me up. So there's some cautionary tales out there for people like, oh, the concert was great, but goddamn, that cobra the road turned into was just, I thank God my girlfriend didn't try to prank me at that point.
I did that too one time, Dale, and I was driving on acid a long time ago, and man, the road was just like all wavy. The freeway was just like wavy. I felt like I was in an episode of The Simpsons. But
it does feel like that.
Yes.
The High News does not recommend driving.
No. We do not condone that type of behavior, and this is something I did when I was young. But we're gonna